ABC, it's Greeno. I hope everybody's doing well. Just thought I would shoot a quick update here. Had a pretty good weekend. Just went to the flea market and hit one record store just real quick. But it's been great weather here and had a real nice weekend. Our daughter's back from boot camp for a little while until she's sent off on her, I guess, where she's going to be assigned for a while. So, but like I said, it's been a good weekend. Just kind of jump into it. What's playing in the background, if you can hear it, is Hammers of Misfortune. I actually picked this up on my trip and showed it real quick. It's kind of a blind buy. It's a 2 LP set. I found this for like $10. And I'd heard of the band, you know, seen the name of the band around, but really didn't know anything about them. But 2 LPs and cheap, I thought I would grab it. And so far, interesting. And it's a 2 LP set, but like they looked at it as 2 separate albums, it looks like, that kind of connect. So this is a Church of Broken Glass, and then you flip it over and you have Fields. And it's even that way on the inside, the gatefold. You have the back of one, and then the back of the other one. And like I said, I knew very little about this band, and just dropped the needle and was looking them up a little bit. Kind of interesting. It's got a member from Slawfeg, which I believe is a California newer band. Yeah, they've been around for a while now. I think I may be totally wrong on the California thing, but I'm thinking that's where they're from. But this is from 2008, and I think this band kind of started out with another member of Slawfeg, and he left, but early on they were kind of more black metal, death metal, whatever, and now they're progressing into like progressive metal. It's got like a little bit of that occult leanings. It's kind of fashionable right now or whatever, but they picked up a new female singer. It sounded really cool. And they also have a male singer, which I was reading is one of the members, or used to be a member of Pansy Division, which I don't know if anybody else knows of that band. It's they were on Lookout, like back in the 90s. They were a gay punk band, pop punk, cool band. But now one of those members is in Hammers of Misfortune. So you have a female male vocal thing going on. This is really interesting so far. I'm kind of digging it. So I'm only on the first album, the Church of Broken Glass, but be flipping to the other one next. Okay, yesterday morning got up and decided, I hadn't been to the flea market in probably about a month. I'm going to go to the flea market and see what I can find. And there were some records there. I found a few dollar things, which I'm not going to show here. I'll show them as I listen to them. Nothing, mind-blowing. Just, just some cool stuff to check out. A couple things I've never heard of before. But going through all these records, this one guy had I don't know, maybe 200 records there, a few boxes or whatever. And it's a lot of good standard stuff, And he had decent prices on it, anywhere from like $3 to whatever, $10. Then he had a box of what he called rare stuff that he wanted $100 for some old doo-wop album, which it may be worth it, I have no idea. But in the middle of all this stuff, in the regular boxes, I hadn't pulled anything out. Just wasn't anything in there grabbing me. And this was sitting in the middle of it and just completely blows my mind. Still Sealed, Van Halen, Balance. Are you freaking kidding me? At a flea market, just out of nowhere, this found me. So, had to jump on this. He actually had it in a sleeve, a dirty sleeve, and he had $10 on it. It's a flea market. I had to haggle a little bit. I ended up getting it for $8. And didn't even notice till I got home, because I didn't care, it looked in great shape. I got home and opened it up, or pulled it out of the sleeve, and it's like, it's still sealed. Holy crap. But are you kidding? Never would have thought when I walked into the flea market yesterday I'd be walking home with this. This was a definite huge score. Just because I say that just because I know this is a rare album on vinyl. It's very hard to find on vinyl. Quite honestly, I'm not real familiar with this album, but I'm gonna crack this open. That's what records are for listening to. I'm gonna crack it open, drop the needle, and check it out. So, pretty excited with that. It's kind of crazy, man. You know, just every once in a while that'll happen. In the middle of, and as soon as I found that, it's like, oh, there's got to be more stuff like this. Went through everything. It's like, nope, that was it. So, all right, I hit a record store. Found this, freaking awesome. Hound Dog Taylor and the House Rockers. Genuine house rocking music on Alligator. It's early Alligator, number 4727. What did they start with? 4700, I think. But this is early to mid 70s. Nah, excuse me. Totally wrong. This is 82. I haven't look like a doofus. Haven't looked this up yet. So this looks like it may be a compilation because I'd never seen this one before. And any Hound Dog Taylor I come across, I pick up. Love Hound Dog Taylor. So it looks like this is going to be a compilation, which is cool. But all the 70s stuff on Alligator is amazing, especially Hound Dog. He was the reason they actually started Alligator. The guys that started the label was trying to get some stuff out by him, and none of the labels would put anything out, and they were like, screw it, we'll do it ourselves. They started Alligator Records. And it's taken off. There's a ton of people in there now. But if you haven't heard Hound Dog Taylor, check him out. It's this greasy, raw electric blues. He plays pawn shop guitars, pawn shop amps, and it's fantastic. He actually had 6 fingers on his left hand. It was just a little nub, didn't work, but he did have 6 fingers. It's kind of crazy. I got this in the mail. I actually heard about this coming out, and I wanted to order it and kind of forgot. And when I remembered, I jumped onto Amazon or eBay real quick, and there was 1 or 2 on there for the same price you could have ordered it, when it come out. So went ahead and I grabbed one. One of my favorite pop punk bands, Groovy Ghoulies. Flying Saucer Rock and Roll. And what this is, the Ghoulies kind of got a little bit bigger once they got onto Lookout Records in the 90s. But they were actually kind of starting in the late 80s, and the main guy is Kepi. And they were doing 4-track stuff and all that, and that's what this is. This is 86 to 88, Volume 1. And it sounds like there's going to be a bunch more volumes coming out. But even though the stuff is 4-track stuff, kind of demoing at home or whatever, it sounds great. Really sounds good. And it's totally that Groovy Ghoulies sound, that would be coming out in the 90s. And this band is really cool. They're kind of that, like I said, pop punk and that Ramones-y kind of style. Really good hooks. But they're always singing about, sci-fi and horror, and you can look at the cover and get what's going on. Really, really fun band. Got to see them back in the 90s with the Donnas opening up when they were still like 16 years old or something. And both bands were fantastic. Alright, one last record. I may have shown this, I completely can't remember. I've had it for about a month, and it's so been in the rotation box. It's just, I haven't been able to put it away. I just keep going back to it. It's a fantastic album. I believe I got it from Doom.com, and that's Freedom Through the Years. It's a reissue. And this is from early 70s. Christ, I can't remember the year now. I think it was 72, 71. Originally come out on Vertigo. It's a power trio, 70s hard rock, blues rock, and this is massive. This is just fan-freaking-tastic. It keeps ending up back on the turntable. I'm just loving this. I believe this is their third album. Their actual first album ended up being like a soundtrack for some Italian movie in the late 60s, and then they did a self-titled called Freedom, and then I believe this album. A couple members from Procol Harum, is that right, was in here, and one of them ended up leaving. Then they kind of went, I guess, the power trio route, and I can't say enough good stuff about this album. This is just really good if you dig the 70s hard rock stuff. And this is on the bluesy side, but it's just freaking killer. If I can find something on YouTube, I'll try and put a link. I can't remember if I've come across anything really good on YouTube or not. I heard this somewhere. It might have been on Doom.com. They just had an audio link or something. But anyways, if you dig the 70s stuff, check that album out. That was just blowing my mind. I'm loving it. Alright, BC, that's it. Like I said, just a real quick one. And got real lucky at the flea market. Really happy with that Van Halen. So I guess that's it. Hope everybody's doing well. And looks like there was a couple meetups, BC members over the weekend. It's like one down in Texas and one in Ohio. So hoping to see some videos. Saw Jeremy Ginger. He's already showed some stuff he got when he met up. So hoping to see more. It's a great thing. You know, I've met a few people already in person from BC, and you know, I love it, man. Everybody's been great. So it's one of the cool things about the BC, you know, making friends like this. All right, BC, that's it for me. Later.